Okay.
Good morning, Ted Barr, and thank you for agreeing to be my guest on my platform, Rachel and Friends.
Good morning, Arshili.
So, Ted, this is not a TED Talk, it's Rachel and Friends Talk. I just love the connection. I'd like you to please tell our listeners and viewers who you are and what you do. So, the stage is yours.
Okay. First of all, I came from writing. You know, nowadays I'm more into the painting and to the 2D expression, and I'm teaching art and I'm teaching workshops. I call them fly workshops. We'll speak about it later. But then I started to merge all those things because fly stands for free the life within you. And what we are doing is expressing our creativity and people to express their creativity. I'm all the time saying, I'm not an art teacher. I'm just giving the opportunity for people to express themselves.
The tools.
Yeah. The tools, the environment, you know, the allowance, because people are coming from time to time and say, well, never painted and we never use colors. And I say, good, it's a good opportunity to start. I
I
have
agree.
people that came to my workshop 80 years old, you know.
80 years old.
Yeah.
So let's start by asking you, what is fly?
You know, everything that I did in the art world wasn't planned. You know, I haven't any plans. I have any diploma or official background in the art. I just started to express myself at the age I started at, business. I wrote articles about insurance. I wrote a book about insurance. My specialty was, and I wrote a book that's called Long-Term Care Insurance in Israel. And I wrote children books, you know, but eventually when I started to express myself in colors and forms, uh, suddenly it evolved into a technique, into a method that I call fly. Fly stands for free the life within you. And it speaks about the freedom to express yourself, the freedom um, to just be what you are in the current moment, you know, with no borders, inhibitions, good or bad, beautiful, ugly. We don't use those terms. We just expressing ourselves. Um, and I didn't think to teach or to deliver it to other people. But in 2009, someone from Guadalajara, Mepi Vareka, which is a very well-known art teacher in Guadalajara, Mexico, she approached me and she started to ask questions about the flow, you know, how I dilute the turpentine and why I use tar and the layers, because I use layers in my paintings. And I answered. And then she said, I spoke with my students about you and we'll buy you tickets. We'll invite you to Mexico. We'll organize for you the biggest show you ever had. Just come and teach us.
Wow.
And May 2009, I came to Guadalajara. I teach there a fly workshop. Then we decided on the spot to have another workshop in San Miguel de Allende 3 months later. And, you know, slowly it evolved because someone moved to San Antonio. They invited me to San Antonio, then to Miami, then to San Francisco, then to Jaipur in Rajasthan, then Jaipur, then Mumbai, then Bangalore, then
Wow.
Berlin. You know, it started to be all over.
At what point
Um,
did you start calling yourself a painter, an artist, or not yet?
um, I think it started at the age around the age of 40. Around the age of 40, I didn't use any paints, colors. I haven't been in museums or art galleries. I wasn't interested in art, you know, before. Um, now I'm traveling a lot. Not nowadays during the Corona days, but
Yes.
usually I'm traveling a lot and I'm teaching a lot all over the globe. And I'm saying to the people, to the artists I meet, learn to say yes. You see, learn to say yes, because if you say no, the situation stays the same.
Yeah,
You want to do something else, you want to experience something, learn to say yes. And I said yes to a lot of things. By the way, sometimes I really regretted that I said yes,
of
you
course.
know, and I lost money or lost time, you know, but at least I tried. And this is what I'm saying to people, at least try. And this is what Fly is all about. Fly, free the life within you is at least try, do something else, go
So,
go out of the borders of lines, you know.
absolutely. So, I'll tell you
Mm,
where I feel that both of us meet as far as what we do. You came from insurance and business, and I come from law. And
yeah,
people might think these are very dry, unartistic professions, but both of us know that they're very innovative. Sometimes you need the art and the colors to be better at it.
yeah,
Um, I think that this interview fits my platform that has to do with innovation and with new knowledge that each one creates in his own field. And definitely, you're speaking of a whole new platform that you created already years ago. So,
hmm,
why don't you share with us how you had to innovate another step during the Corona time? And this I ask all of my guests. I try now to focus on how your ability to evolve and to innovate, which this is what you've been doing, just from the short story that you told us, has helped you and your clients and the people you're in touch with within your field cope within this Corona time. What were the challenges you had to tackle, and what ways did you find to cope with them?
yeah. Um, you know, first of all, the Corona times for me was a great boon, a great time of relief, of releasing the pressure, being at home. I'm waking up very early every morning, and I'm writing. I almost finished to write. I told Audrey, you know, if it's going to be this 3 4 months, I will finish the book,
Wow.
the continuation, because I wrote the Fly book in 2017. It was published in 2017. I wrote three years before, but it was published, and now I'm writing the Fly approach to life. So you know, I'm almost there. I need about 2 3 months more. And as we see the situation nowadays in Israel, you know, it might be that I'll have this time,
Yes,
this time.
unfortunately, you might.
Unfortunately, yeah. So, and another thing is that I'm here. You know, I'm here in Israel. I'm not flying. I'm not going. I'm not teaching. I supposed to be those days, exactly those days, beginning of August 2020. I was planned to be in Bangalore and to teach in Bangalore. In
Wow.
We just came back from India in mid-February, and I was a month in India from mid-January to mid-February. We just came before the Corona, you know, start to lockdown and everything. And I gave there about 10 fly workshops to managers of Titan Group in Bangalore, and to a fashion school in Mumbai, and to designers in Oroville, you know. So it was a very, very and inspiring journey, you know, that was, and I supposed to finish it, but I'm here. Relating to your questions about the messages of Fly to Corona days, Fly speaks about change, and Fly speaks about moving and flowing, and I call it Fly. The subtitle of Fly is embrace the unexpected. You
Oh
know,
boy.
embrace the unexpected, because life is so unexpected, and there are so many.
Totally.
Who would think about this bizarre situation that we are here? So I think about the fact that it allows us, because we experience the same experience everywhere. And I'm speaking with a lot of people. I have a lot of friends in Mexico and India are like my second homes. You know, I have a home in Mexico, in Guadalajara. I have a home in Udaipur, and in Ganesh Puri in Maharashtra. So I feel that, for example, if I'm asking a friend, how are you in those days? You know exactly what I mean, you know? You know exactly what I mean, because those days are very special globally. All of the people on this planet Earth experience this kind of very, very unusual experience, you see?
Challenging.
And challenging, and I think that from unusual experience and unusual challenges and times like that, creativity can grow and be like a very, very important part in human life.
I
We had
agree. Sure. That's why I chose,
absolutely,
yeah, that's the platform
yeah,
that
we
was
had
born in
a
Corona
fly
time.
workshop. Absolutely, we had a fly workshop 2 days ago in my studio. It was a sum up of a seminar that Orly led, and it was a seminar about the source. What is the source? And there were lectures about few people that are like source people. They're not copy paste of someone. They are the source. They invented something or did something special in their lives. And
Do you
the
feel
end
like you're the
was
so
in my
do you
studio.
feel do you feel like you're a source?
Um, you know, I a special Zoom meeting only about that, about what is the source and what I feel about it. I'm not sure that it's not Ted Barr. You know, it's something. I think that flies in essence. It's
Yeah.
something that moves through me. I just deliver it. So I really hope that there would be time that would be some other people around the globe that will deliver this essence. That you won't need only Ted Barr because I'm only one person. You see. So when I started to speak my part in this seminar and what I'm doing, I said that I would like people to experience. It's not only talking. It's not
Oh my God, did you
theoretical.
see that?
Yeah, it's a cat.
She came from the top
This
of
is,
the
yeah.
she delivers. She
Those
loved your
those
talk.
are the Zoom epoch.
Yeah. So when
Yeah,
you're saying that it's an essence, I totally agree with you. I totally relate. I'd like to take you a bit into my circle. I mean, our circles in a way, cut each other and touch each other because obviously, when I, as an intellectual property lawyer, meet an artist like you or a content person, may it be visual content or written content, then I try to see what kind of assets you have acquired for yourself. Because until now we spoke on how you want to share it, etc. But it interests me, what would you say are the real, very original assets that you feel that you have brought to the table, and you would like also to have attribution for them, because I mean, fly is yours. You invented it, you created it,
yeah,
you're developing it. So it starts, I understand, from the name that you chose, that the name has a lot of the essence in it, right? So it's the fly. And then is it
the
a
fly. Yeah,
special kind of coloring technique? The technique itself is something that is very unique to yourself, you would say?
the technique, the technique. Maybe we can see it here. Yeah,
Yes.
you can see.
Would you like to share?
Okay. It's better if I show the presentation, but I don't
Yeah.
think that we'll have much time for that. Um, the technique is based on three very, very simple elements. People are coming to my studio. I just show the technique in demonstrate 10 minutes, and that's it. They start to work. Then it's years of practice, but to learn, it's very simple. And the basics are flow. It's flow of color on the canvases. The second one is merge, which is different ingredients, contradicting ingredients, and I use oil colors. Um, I use coal tar, diluted by turpentine, and I use gesso from time to time. Gesso, which is like a hard a matcha that they put on the canvas, and acrylics. So it's oil and acrylics together. And it does very, very, very interesting shapes because they are contradicting. So it's like exploding on the canvas. You see, uh, maybe I'll share it.
Yes.
Rachel is on. Maybe I'll share the presentation. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So this, for example, you see this? You see now what I'm
I see.
sharing?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So this is one of the deep space painting. So
It does
I
look like
started to
deep
paint
space.
the deep space. So and everything was done in the same technique. Everything. So this is deep space. This is deep space. This, by the way, is a 2 meters by 2 meters um,
Beautiful.
canvas. Okay, and this painting has like 22 layers in it. 22 layers, so it takes about 9 months to complete it because it's a layer on layer on layer, and each layer has acrylics, tar, and oil on it. And here you see with the white, it's the gesso that
Wow.
contains the color in it. And then
Nine
the
months.
second, about 9 months, yeah, because I need to wait till the layer would dry to
Yes.
paint the other layer. And acrylic dries very quickly.
Yeah.
Oil dries, a bit. It takes a bit more time. But tar, sometimes it takes about a week for a tar layer to dry. So I need more. This is the second series, which is called the Cycle of Life, which is called which is called the Human Formation. And this, by the way, is the fingers, the hand in the embryo, forming in the embryo after the 9 week of pregnancy. You know, after
Beautiful.
9 weeks of conception, this is the hand. The hand is forming out of, and this is a 1.5 meters or 1.5 meters. So there are a lot of images that I created in this simple, very, very simple technique, you see? The more, and then people started to say, okay, let's do something out of it. So people from Milano came and said, let's do fashion out of
Do you want to show us?
those
Do you have
pieces.
with you something from fashion to show?
Yeah, this another one from Cycle of Life. And
Beautiful.
from this one, remember this one? From
Yeah.
this one, they made fashion. No, this is another company
Oh,
from a
wow.
fashion house from London. From the left is the original, and from the right is the dress that they made out of it. Okay. By the way, I met this kind of dress with a woman in Alexanderplatz, and I
Yeah.
was so excited. My God, I saw my painting, on a woman in Alexanderplatz in Berlin, and I just approached her, to greet her, to hug her or something. I was so excited about it, but then her boyfriend came on a big motorcycle and looked at me like that. He said, and he took
Personal story.
the
Yeah.
problem.
So tell me all
Yeah.
these
So
amazing things.
okay,
All these amazing. Oh,
this
look at
is
this.
from
Yeah.
Milano. Yeah, this is from Milano. Remember, from the left is the original. From the right is the. It's not a rendering. It's actually a photography ta- uh, taken by a professional photographer on a model, and the model is dressed. This was this was the fashion show in Milano.
Wow,
This
that's
was the fashion show.
beautiful. Amazing.
And then it evolved to very, very strange things, But by the way, it was everywhere. In Milano, it was everywhere. In the Vogue and La Repubblica, and it got a lot of publicity there. And jeweler came to me and said, let's do jewelry out of it. So you see on the left, the original, and on the right, the jewelry. And another jeweler, very famous in Israel, Yael Erman, she said, "Let's do something different," and she did this piece. I really love this piece.
It's beautiful.
She just she just printed it on like small plastic beads and made out
It's the
jewelry out of
closest
it.
thing to where your to wear pieces of your canvas.
Yeah,
So I'd like to
and
ask you,
then
I'd like to
yeah.
ask you something. Do you have any young artists that are contacting you to ask to work with your technique, or did you happen to see someone else since you started kind of using it with without telling you, or what kind of experiences have you had meeting your art online or around the world once it's left your hands?
Um, a lot of I teach a lot, and I give a lot of workshops all around the globe, and I know that there are people that are using that. There are artists that are using that, and I'm very very glad about it. You
Good,
know,
good.
people say you know you are giving it away. You have to write like to use people like
Copyright,
you. You
yeah.
know to have it copyrighted. And I say maybe I have to copyright my signature because I'm not signing by my name, but with a private symbol that I developed. So maybe we'll speak about it later. But for that, I definitely need you. But I say that I never regret things that I gave away. You know, I gave to people. Sometimes I regret things that I didn't give. You know, but
That's interesting.
I'm very happy that there are artists around the world that are using this method, and there are, I know that someone learned was in my fly workshop in San Miguel de Allende, and he showed his paintings in a museum in Monterrey in Mexico, and I'm very glad about it.
Did he
See?
say that it was after a workshop with you?
Yeah.
Then I
Yes.
would be glad also. But you
Yeah.
understand why my question comes up.
Sure.
Yes, we don't come from a bad place, you know, intellectual property lawyers. We just come from a place that we tell our clients, Ted, if you want to give it away, that's great. But there's no reason that a student of yours will have a show in a museum in Monterey without saying that he went to a fly shop workshop with you. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's only
Yeah.
correct.
To give credit is important nowadays,
Absolutely.
especially when you have this prolific social media all around you and
Exactly. And especially when you
um
put so much into it. So tell me something.
yeah.
Do you keep on? I understand that you also, while you keep on evolving with your art, the visual part, you also keep adding written content to it because you just shared with us that, oh, this is beautiful. It looks like an eye in the middle.
Yeah.
It,
From I came from figurative. 7 years I learned figurative at Al Jaffa with the master that was one of the people that created the Avni School of Art.
wow, Machon
Um,
Avni. Yeah,
Mahon Avni, so I learned with him 7 years. The basis is figurative. I developed all this on top of the figurative, and sometimes I tell my students, better is figurative in you, you know, and not start, you know, don't start with abstract, start with figurative, then move to abstract. I
that's
think
interesting.
this is the right direction.
That's like watching
And
A Picasso show, and then you tell people, you know, the guy knew how to actually paint women with straight faces.
yeah,
Ted,
so
tell me
I'm showing this
something.
because
I want to stop you just because our time is getting short, but I'd like to know during this Corona time, while I understand that unfortunately workshops were canceled and you're trying to make lemonade for the lemons and writing your content, etc. But how have you been keeping up with your students, with your clients, and with people around you? Do you do Zoom workshops? Do you answer questions? Do you talk to people on the phone? How do you tackle the challenges of Corona and staying here?
we are producing now a series of carpets, of art carpets, handmade art carpets in Baduy, Uttar Pradesh, in India. I'm talking with those guys almost every day, and they show me pictures of the carpets. This is going to be one of the biggest projects that I ever did. So we are in continuous contact about it. On Saturday, last Saturday, I had a Zoom meeting with a design school in Hosur, near Bangalore. It's about 50 kilometers from Bangalore. I teach there. When I was there in January, I teach there, and the owner said, let's do something for the students and speak. And I spoke about Fly and the Corona times and the connection between Fly and Corona times. I'm action with designers to produce, for example, this. You see this image. So
Amazing.
Alex, the designer, Alex Padova, is one of the leading designers in Israel. So he produced this as a series of furniture, and then tables,
Wow.
and then autonomic cars. This is autonomic car, and you see,
Wow.
out of the fly images, autonomic cars. But I think that the
Wait,
prime
can you
of
stop for a
everything
minute?
that it,
What do you mean autonomic cars? This is actually going to be
this is an
produced.
auto, this is actually going to be an autonomic car. You know, there are, for
Congratulations.
example,
Is your special signature on this?
no, no, my signature is not on because I'm not the designer of the autonomic car. I'm the
No, I'm
artist
asking
that
if your
produced
signature,
art
why can't I see your signature on the painting on the car?
because it might be here, you know. It's the signature
Good,
is here
good.
when I point, you
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
But I think the climax of all what he did was this one,
What
and
did,
this is a printing machine that he designed for HP. This is a 14 meters long printing machine, and on that he printed my art. You see, the image that you said that you saw before.
where are such
So it's
machines,
there, and
where is such a machine supposed to be located? For businesses?
um, I think I think in Germany somewhere. I don't have exactly the details, but
Wow, it's
Alex Padova
really
just sent me the image of it,
amazing,
and this is
amazing.
one thing. And then Ferrari cars. You know, I had a collaboration with Ferrari cars, and suddenly my art was on a Ferrari.
Can we
You
see?
see, so the Ferrari. Let's see, Ferrari.
Is there
Yeah,
a Ferrari somewhere in the world now driving with your painting on it?
yes, it is. This is the painting, you see?
Wow.
Those are the cuts that the Ferrari company, they sent to me, the cuts of the Ferrari. This is a Ferrari FF, by the way. It's a quite expensive car. And this is how it looks, you know? This is how it
Amazing.
looks. It's not a rendering. It's a
And
it's
someone
not
is
a
driving
rendering.
such a Ferrari with your name.
Yeah, this is the photography of a Ferrari. It was taken in Boca Raton, Florida.
Wow.
Um,
And your signature is
And
on
by the
it.
way,
Is your
yeah,
signature on
I,
it? Where's this?
there is a signature there. There is. This is a rendering of the carpets. Of the carpets, you see
Yeah.
and by the way, this is exactly the dimensions of the carpets, but this is a rendering. You have more time, or we
We have
finished?
2 minutes. I want to a bit go forwards. First of all, I want to tell you I'm at awe. Amazing, amazing. I wanted to ask you, do you have now more people that are making contact with you? Because you're so giving and you're so evolving and everything. So do you have artists in Corona time that are writing you, asking you questions, asking for advice?
I can tell you one thing for sure: that everyone that approaches me with good heart gets a response. You
That's a
know,
good answer.
there's no. Uh, Yeah, and I'm speaking with artists from all levels, emerging artists, established artists. I speak with all of them, and
So
we had the conversations in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in
amazing.
during with my site.
Um,
Yeah,
so one last question I want to ask, and can we come back to the screen so we'll see you in full size? Um, I wanted to ask you while you're coming back to the screen, could you please choose, like each one of my guests on this platform, one word that you would like with it to describe how Corona is for you personally, Ted, with everything that you
Okay,
are.
so I'll stay a bit longer here because I'll put here, you see, I'll put here the image that for me represents most the corona. I, to get her, we don't have really time to enter into, but it's together, you know? But if you put it together, it's together,
I
you see?
didn't realize to get
So
her. Who is to
it's
get who?
together. I said we won't have time to get deep into that because it's
So
about my sign. It's about my sign and it's about the essence of fly.
so
But
I have an
speaking
idea.
about the corona,
So I have an
yeah,
idea before we're cut by Zoom. First of all, I really want to thank you. It's amazing. I want to tell everyone who's viewing, and I hope it's as many as possible, to please go in and look at all these amazing images. I also offer that if you would like to write where I'm sending everyone to your blog to explain what to get her is and to leave our viewer, with a kind of question. Um,
okay.
I really wish for you more evolving, more creativity. Make sure your signature, that's my hat as a lawyer, is on each one of your artworks. They're too beautiful just to let them go like that. Attribution is not a dirty word, it's a very good one, even though you have an essence. Thank you so much for sharing. And I really hope to meet you again on this platform, and hopefully it won't be in Corona time. So I really want to wish you all the best and I hope to meet you soon.
Welcome. I enjoyed it as well. Thanks, Racheli.